in case you didn't know, there is something really cool and very cute available. It's the Shad plushie! Check it out! Look at how cute this guy is. Look at him. And he is available, link in the description. So, limited time, thing. So, get one while you can. And if they do well, we might even be able to do some expanded, I get one of Tyranth and Nate, maybe even Nathan as well. So check it out, it's a plushie available, for a short time.
Welcome back to The Watch, and some news has been released about The Last Airbender. Turns out, Shad, the show's not even going to start. Because of plot changes, they're saying now Sokka isn't going to be sexist. Which, if you've watched The Last Airbender, it's kind of crucial to not only Sokka's hero arc, but also to the show.
Yeah, they'll have to rewrite some important parts. Parts.
It's also funny to me because there's a few things we'll talk about in regards to this. There's a recap episode in the last season where basically before they fight the Fire Lord, they'd go to a theater and they watch a show of themselves.
That episode is hilarious.
And it's funny because they just characterize themselves as overdramatic or, Sokka loves me, he's a jokes guy. And I feel like
the blind girl is played by a butch guy and she loves it.
She's like, I love it because it's kind of correct. But the thing in that show is, or in what they're watching, he isn't sexist. And it feels like the Netflix show we're going to get is just going to be that.
Just Aegis played by a girl.
Yeah.
It's so mortifying.
And Katara's getting, matched with all the other guys and Aang's getting all offensive and stuff. But yeah, they're just... for me, it shows the disrespect, but also it's been a roller coaster ride for me, Shad, because I have loved The Last Airbender. I love the TV show. The movie I hated, but still watched. I watched quite a few times growing up. And so when this first came out, I was very reluctant to give it a chance. But then the most recent trailer, I was very...
Yeah.
Okay. You did okay with One Piece, Netflix.
And then One Piece came out and I was like, is there hope?
Is there hope?
Now I feel like, Hawkeye in Endgame. Don't give me hope.
Don't give me hope now because now you've given me nothing. So, yeah, should we go into...
Okay, so there's some background and context here because I find it really weird that they would say something like this. And it's a bit of a face-off and it's like, do you understand what you're kind of implying? Because Sokka's arc, right, is him learning to not be as sexist as he was, right? And so is their issue is that they don't want people to learn to not be like, are they that blind where they think any type of sexist comment would mean,
we're giving a platform to it.
Exactly, it's encouraging it. And also this type of censorship where they're so afraid of anyone saying positive thing almost encourages it because it's like, hang on, does that mean you're also triggered by just blatantly true things? Because, men and women are different. Men are physically stronger and means that we are better at certain tasks. And by the way, women are better at certain tasks as well, all right? But do you have an issue with us, with even blatant comments of reality like that?
Yes.
All right? Because Sokka's sexism, they call it sexism, right? It does stem out of some traditional kind of views he has about men being the protectors.
He literally lives in a tribe where all the men go off and fight in a war, and he's left to defend the women. Of course, he's going to think that because that's how he's literally been raised and how they survive as a culture.
Yeah.
If they don't do that, then when the Fire Nation comes, they're all going to die.
Exactly. And so the Foundation isn't actually completely sexist, even though he approaches certain, people with incorrect ideas of how tough they might be in combat or something like that. But then he gets shocked and surprised because Avatar shows, both sides. And so it was done perfectly fine in the show. And I wonder if they want to get rid of, tone down the sexism because they're afraid that there's a vein of truth to the fact that he thinks that men should protect and they're the fighters.
Yeah, because he's a guy who loves meat, he has muscles, and he's a warrior guy, and the other thing, Shad, that frustrates me the most, do you want to know how they find Aang in the iceberg? he says something sexist to Katara. He says, "Oh, I shouldn't have brought you on this trip." Like, it's something along the lines of, let a woman mess up a man's job, and then she loses it, water bends, and then they find Aang. And now, if he's not going to be sexist, are they just going to stumble upon him?
They'll make something new up, right?
And it just...
It shows, like, most writers don't have any balls at all these days. They're so afraid of upsetting anyone.
Yes.
Where they can't even have a character with problematic kind of, expressions, even when it's framed that isn't really good or positive.
And it's also funny the fact that this was a children's cartoon growing up in the 2000s, and they're too sensitive because, oh no, we don't want to give children the idea of... Like, this wasn't like a Deadpool or something. They're not turning anything down.
A children's cartoon is too edgy for the adults nowadays. Are they that friggin' soft? Really? I never would have thought we would have been in a timeline where Avatar: The Last Airbender would be too edgy for...
Next, it'll be Teletubbies or something else, like the Wiggles.
What
Wiggles with the handguns. Oh, no, not the children.
Like, seriously, I think we might be finding some instances like that, where even, like, old school shows that actually were a bit based are too... Like, Powerpuff Girls. Powerpuff Girls has some base stuff in it. Like, there's this villain who's a feminist in it, and she's, like, always blaming oppression and everything, and the Powerpuff Girls shut her down. There's one time when Mojo Jojo, like, starts to play victim mentality, like, oh, I'm being oppressed, and people are attacking the Powerpuff. And so, actually, like, that is what, like...
It's too edgy for them.
Too edgy now.
Too edgy. Oh.
But what we're really seeing is that they're afraid of the truth. Okay? Because... I'm not saying everything that, the character says in Avatar was right, but you do see where it's coming from. There's more context to it, which actually gives a more balanced view as to why he would view that way. But that's, we can't even, have tame comments like that are not even really that bad. But even though, because look, there are times when he's like telling the girl, sew my socks up. It's a woman's duty to do the cooking and the sewing and everything. And, clearly, there's context where those roles might not be best, cast to any gender because they're on an adventure, pull your own weight. So it also added good comedic kind of conflict between the characters as they're growing and progressing.
Because when he goes to an island won by women warriors, it has some conflict of interest and you have some chemistry and stuff. Yeah. Where now it's going to be like, oh yes, women warriors, I support you, I'm an advocate for you. End episode. Like it's going to ruin so much. And it makes me more concerned that if they're ruining this with Sokka, what else do we not know about that they're going to change as well?
This is a big red flag, where if they're willing to subvert some significant parts in the original narrative and story for ideological reasons, that sets a precedent that they are other things that they very likely are doing this to as well. And if they are prioritizing like ideology over authenticity to the source material, this is why One Piece did so well, because they lent into it. Like, there's a line in One Piece, still blows me away, where a young girl and boy are fighting, the girl is winning, but then she says, there's the craziest base line, where it says, girls can beat boys, but no woman can beat a man. And they're acknowledging the fact that men do grow up stronger, taller, longer reach, and she's just acknowledging the biological reality. But then the boy says, well, that's crap. You shouldn't give up and work just as hard, encouraging her with the belief that she can still be the greatest swordsman ever.
Yeah.
And so, like, epic-based, right? And because they just embraced the source material, look how friggin' good it was! They are sitting on a gold mine with Avatar, but if they're going to be making changes like this...
So I just remembered more stuff that they're probably going to change, because when they go to the Northern Water Tribe, only the women learn healing and the men learn fighting. There's a whole arc where Katara can't learn waterbending because she's a woman, she can't fight. And there's a whole arc and series of that. If that's not going to be apparent anymore, then you've lost like half an episode.
You see, if they embraced it, they could have a gold mine. There's so much great stuff there. One Piece is the perfect example, but then we see stuff like this, and it's like, you're doing it again. You're not learning from your successes. You're just repeating your failures. And I don't know how bad this will be, but like I said, it's a warning sign. This is not a good thing. And could we be getting another Cowboy Bebop? We don't know.
Shad, don't say things like that. That is...
Bad memories. Bad memories. What do you guys think? Do you think this is like just a sign of what's to come? It's going to be a dumpster fire. Do you think it'll just be a small thing that still might be good? We'll have to wait and see. Because I guess there's one last. I don't want to hope. But I wonder if this might be one of those dumb comments from someone who doesn't have a lot of influence and not reflecting reality.
Because the actors said it.
Okay, because we saw dumb comments like this with House of the Dragon.
We did.
Okay, and when the show came out, it wasn't like a feminist mantra, women great mantra. Well, no, the women are doing just as bad things as the guys in that show, and it shows positive masculinity and noble sacrifice of a loving father. Like House of the Dragon is awesome, but the comments around it were just.
You would think a different show was being made.
Radioactively bad.
Yeah.
We don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. But until then, everyone, I guess it's important to stay on watch.